I mean, it pains me to say this, though, but the cornerback for the Tennessee Titans, they brung in, the young brother, I'm not expecting him to make a big splash. He's coming off a couple of back surgeries. He's looking to try to regroup and find his way. But I don't think Caleb Farley, there we go. Caleb Farley is going to make a huge impact for Tennessee right away. I think they may have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew when it comes to him. So I think he might find it hard to find his way in the NFL right away. Also, I think Carolina took a little bit of a swing too high on J.C. Horn, pardon me. I mean, he had a lot of good tape, but I don't think number 8 in the draft, I think that's a little high. A little bit high. I think he's more of a slot quarterback. I don't think he's going to be your shutdown 1 or 2. He has a lot of work to do based on the tape and based on different things around the NFL. I think he's going to crash a little bit out the gate. So a couple of cornerbacks I don't feel like are going to be absolutely ready to set the world on fire. So we'll go ahead and pay attention to how these rookies respond to adversity when it comes to the big leagues. We're going to take a timeout, y'all. We're going to come back. We're going to give you the answer to the trivia question of the day, and then we're going to go right into college basketball. Man, it's been a nice little ride so far. I hope, Mom, you're comfortable. You got everything you wanted and more. We're going to give you the dessert on the other side. This is the Playbook Podcast. What's going on, good people? We're back inside the Playbook Podcast once again. It's your chill brother from another, Mr. All About My Biz. I'm just trying to take care of my biz, because I got future kids to take care of, y'all. And on this special edition of Mother's Day, I just want to give a special shout out to all the future mothers, including my wife as well. When that time comes, I ain't rushing it, y'all. I'm really not. Kids cost money. I done already seen it. I got nieces. I got a nephew. I ain't ready. I'm trying to take my time. All right. But shout out to the future mothers as well. When your time comes, man, I know it's going to be glorious. I definitely know that. Listen, y'all continue to follow the Playbook Podcast. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what to do. Don't quit. Keep on following the script. And the script is, go to Spotify, go to Anchor, go to Spreaker, go to Google Podcasts, and all the other podcast platforms as we expand our horizons to give you what you need. Bring the barbershop to your podcast. So don't make me have to go after y'all people, man. And just stick it in y'all head and stick y'all up and be like, listen, go to Spotify, follow us, and get what you need from around the NBA, around the NFL, and college basketball. It's that simple, y'all. Let's keep it simple. Just like we talked about last week. I'm just saying, I digress. Listen, we got the trivia question of the day. I'm going to give you the answer to it. Let's go over the question once again, right? The trivia question of the day was, what is the official nickname for the New Zealand men's basketball team? Again, what is the official nickname for the New Zealand men's basketball team? I was so shocked by this, man. The official nickname for the men's basketball team in New Zealand is the Tall Blacks. I'm trying to figure out, just like last week, right? We had the Steagles. Why in the world would they be called the Tall Blacks? I don't understand. I don't understand what all these... Washington, don't come up with some lame excuse for a name for your team like the Tall Blacks. I'm sorry. I know New Zealand has the whole tribal dance and everything. I know they have all of that, but still, I mean, come on, y'all. The tall blacks? Really? Come on. We live in a crazy world now. Why in the world y'all gonna settle for a nickname like the tall blacks? And then you got your kids. Oh, the boys team is called the junior tall blacks. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. I need a moment. I need a moment, y'all. Seriously. I don't get it. Let me go ahead and focus on college basketball, and maybe I'll get to that in a second, a little later on. But college basketball, let's go ahead and march to college basketball now, right? Around college basketball, it's been a lot of different moves being made portal-wise. The transfer portal is more open than IHOP or the Waffle House down south. It's always open. And the transfer portal around the NCAA right now is completely wide open. I mean, these guys are changing teams like they changed their phone number right now. I mean, there's no commitment to any team right now. Nobody is safe. And Missouri basketball head coach Konza Martin is like, hey, I love it. You know, it gives teams different flexibility like they've never had before. You know, different guys. I think he's lost 6 guys, but he's brung in 4 guys from the transfer portal to improve his squad. And now he has 1 open scholarship position as well for a guy that might pop up in the transfer portal and actually help his team. But I'm a little weary in my eyes. I mean, maybe I'm a little old school. I'm only 30, but still, I mean, all this different changing of teams and philosophies and all that. I mean, if it's necessary, then okay. If you're trying to go to a different situation, then all right. But some of this stuff is more, I'm just going to this team because I can't stand this coach because he yelled at me one time. And I didn't like it. I mean, come on. I'm just saying. I mean, you hear all these different stuff now where it's like, I couldn't get along with the coach. I mean, when I was in school, I couldn't just, all right, I just want to quit the basketball team because I ain't like the coach. There was a couple of coaches I couldn't stand their guts at all. I mean, they kept riding me on the bench because they really didn't like me. And honestly, I wasn't all that great at that particular point in time, like I am now. You know, you can't stop me on the court now. I'm just saying. But anyway, I mean, these guys are changing teams over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, I guess if you have to get in where you fit in. And I guess it's more like finding your way and your identity within college. But still, I mean, I don't really like the idea of all these guys kind of changing teams so often and, you know, not really getting a feel of who you are in college. And you got to keep going to different schools. I'm just saying, I don't really care for the idea of all this flexibility and transfer pool and, you know, just being able to change schools however way you want to. I personally I don't really care for it. But, I mean, it's a different age in college basketball. And hopefully it's a different age where these guys can really get paid for what they're doing, their blood, sweat, and tears, to make sure they're putting on it and giving their best to a sport that they love. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, you got this young recruit, this 5-star recruit for LSU who just actually joined the Tigers. Efton Reed, 5-star recruit, commits to LSU. The Tigers now have Reed, and they also have the younger son of Shaquille O'Neal, Sharif O'Neal, has committed to LSU as well to follow in his father's footsteps. Reed comes in and replaces a squad that's losing their top 5 scorers. He's going to be a big man that protects the rim for LSU. I know Mr. Reed is really excited to play for Will Wade. He turned down teams like Pittsburgh and Ohio State to play for Will Wade at LSU. So it'll be interesting to see how the Tigers can orchestrate this 5-star recruit into the fold, especially when you got a stretch big like Sharif who can knock it down. He can shoot it better than his daddy can from the outside. So it'll be interesting to see how LSU is able to make their way in the SEC after losing so many different guys this last all season. They went 19-10 last season. They lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament to Michigan. So we'll see how LSU rebounds after a little bit of success in the NCAA tournament. All right, we're going to take another timeout, y'all. We're going to put the icing on top of the cake for the special edition of the Playbook Podcast on Mother's Day. Send some love to as many mothers as you can, because you got to give them their flowers when they're still living. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back. This is the Playbook Podcast. What's going on, good people? Welcome back inside the Playbook Podcast, man. Listen, it's been a great show so far. Again, special edition style with this great Mother's Day. Again, we send our love, our honor, and our support to every mother out there doing their thing to try to make sure they take care of their kids. And yeah, I mean, the title of mother is tossed around to and fro at times, but there's always that special someone that may not be your natural mother, but it takes the place of certain things that your natural mother doesn't do. And we gotta give a special shout out to those special women as well, those unsung heroes, if you will, that come in and do the extra stuff, do those dirty things that nobody else is willing to do, and those people that speak those words to you, that wisdom that you need at certain points in time. And we give a special shout out to those women as well on today. Listen, we covered the basics, right? We went through the NBA, we went through the NFL, we went through college basketball, and y'all know the deal, right? Go to Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Spreaker, and all other podcast platforms to continue to give you what you need when it comes to the Playbook Podcast, y'all. Listen, before we go on up out of here, I got to give y'all the championship speech to get your mind right for the week to come. All right? So, without further ado, we're going to go with the championship speech, y'all. So, with this championship speech this week, man, it's been a lot of different things going on in my own personal life with different things, and, you know, just trying to figure out this thing called life, and like we all are every day. And it just had me thinking about how champions figure a way out and figure out how to still be successful in spite of adversity. And it just had me thinking, champions know how to adapt and they know how to adjust. Champions know how to adapt and adjust. And it reminded me of when Jordan was facing the Detroit Pistons back in the 80s, right? Around that time, Mike was a little slimmer. You know, he was a little small. Detroit beat that man up. I mean, they pretty much assassinated Mike. Not technically assassinate, but at the same time, they mauled Mike the entire game, right? During that series back in the 80s. You know what Mike did? He said, okay, this is the last time y'all gonna beat me up like this. So Mike went right to the gym and worked out. Got a swole on. Got right, got ready. How many of us take too long, including myself, to adjust and adapt to different situations in our lives? I mean, Jordan didn't waste any time. Like, all right, after the series, I'm going to go right into this weight room, get myself right, and make sure that this doesn't happen again the next time we play them. And that's the same mentality we must have within this thing called life. Like, life is going to hit us in the mouth. And Mike Tyson had a saying that pretty much epitomizes this whole thing called adapt and adjust. He said, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the mouth. And life is